Hi, I'm Alyssa Jolley, and today we are making creamy garlic chicken with mashed potatoes. Let's get cooking. So first things first, we're going to want to coat the chicken in flour and some seasonings, and then we're gonna start cooking them up. I just cut off the excess fat chunks that are sticking off because I don't want to eat those. I usually put my hand on top of it just to hold it still, and then you come at it, try to go 50-50 from the top to the bottom, and just cut at it all the way through, and then you've got it in half. And do the same thing with the other one. Always wash your hands after dealing with chicken. So normally I would pat these off with a paper towel, but today we're not doing that because the flour sticks better to the chicken if we don't pat it off. And then we're just gonna add Parmesan cheese and some Italian seasoning. Now we're gonna cook the chicken. So let's start preheating a pan. I usually put it on number 6 and put some oil in there. So while we wait for that pan to preheat, I'm going to start breaking open some garlic. We need 10 cloves of garlic. This is a garlicky recipe. Okay, now it's time to put the chicken in there. Now you want it pretty hot because you want it to sear. So let's just see. Oh yeah, hear that sizzle? That means it's ready. You want as much of the chicken touching the pan as possible without overlapping. I know it's a little hard, but just do your best. Now we're just gonna leave this for 4 to 5 minutes. You wanna set a timer because we're gonna flip it. You don't want it to cook fully, you just want it to sear. So let's set a timer for 4 minutes. While we wait for these to sear, you can either peel the garlic if you haven't done that already, or you can start on the sauce. So I'm gonna start on that. First, we're gonna start with 2.5 cups of chicken stock or water with chicken bouillon cubes. All right, our timer is going off. So let's flip them and set another timer. All right, now you just add the cubes into the liquid. We normally would just do water and add the cubes, but today I'm running low on cubes, so I went with the chicken stock as well as the cubes because we like that good old MSG. So I've got some chicken cubes and then I've got 1 beef cube. All right, we're just gonna do 1 teaspoon of soy sauce. All right, and then we're just going to add 1 teaspoon of onion powder and half a teaspoon of dried thyme. So our second timer went off. So we're just gonna remove the chicken. You don't have to temp it because it's gonna go back in the pan in just a minute. Look at that golden brown. All right, so we're just gonna do 3 tablespoons of butter in this pan now while it's still hot. So now we just take our 10 garlic cloves that we've already peeled and we're gonna toss them into this melted butter. When you pull out the chicken, make sure to turn the heat down a little bit. I turn it down to like medium low. Mine is numbered, so I put it down to 2. And you just want to make sure that the garlic doesn't cook too fast because it's easy to burn. The smell of the butter with the garlic, heavenly. And don't be worried if there's some chunks of chicken stuck to the bottom of the pan. Those will come off once we pour in our broth. Now that the garlic is perfectly browned, we're gonna add in the flour. We did 3 tablespoons of butter. We're gonna do 3 tablespoons of flour. I'm just gonna spread that around. This is gonna be the thickening agent in our sauce. And we're just gonna let that sit for 1 minute, and then we're gonna pour in the broth mixture. See, and this is the part where it comes off really easy. Because before, it would have been a nightmare. Trust me, I've tried it. But now, it comes up pretty easy. See, look how clean it is on the bottom now. Now all that chicken flavor is in our gravy. It's fine. You don't have to break those. The heat will break those up. We're gonna turn the heat back up. I'm gonna turn it up to 6 because I like that. And we're gonna add half a cup of heavy whipping cream. So after you're done stirring in the cream, we're just gonna wait for it to come to a boil, and then we're gonna turn it to low and add the chicken back in. Let's just add 1 inch of water into the bottom of the Instant Pot, and then we're gonna wash up the potatoes, add them in. I usually do about 2 pounds. You can do less, but whatever fits your family's needs. Now that this is kind of simmering, boiling, we're just gonna turn it down to low, add the chicken back in, put a lid on it, and let it simmer for 5 minutes. Okay, so we're just gonna walk over to the sink, scrub some potatoes. I don't like to peel them because I use these golden potatoes. The peels don't bother us, so I don't waste my time. But if you use like russet potatoes, you're gonna wanna peel them because those are really tough skins and it'll mess up the texture. But it all depends on what you like and what your family likes. You're gonna want to make them all approximately the same size. So I usually, with bigger potatoes, I'll cut them in half after I'm done scrubbing them. So these aren't the dirtiest potatoes, so I usually just give them a good scrub down and then just cut them right in half. And throw them in the Instant Pot. Be sure to cut off any weird parts. I usually just throw some garlic in there. It adds some good flavor. And I like fresh garlic more than garlic powder. It's okay if they fall to the bottom, don't worry about it. Put the lid on. Make sure it is on sealing, not on venting, and manual for 8 minutes. You can tell I make mashed potatoes a lot because it was already at 8 minutes. Now we're gonna move on to carrots. So these were a little hairy, so I scrubbed them beforehand so my husband wouldn't see it. We don't really have to scrub them, but I mean, no, you do. I already did though, so just take your wacky looking finger carrots and I'm gonna peel mine. So my brain only works 1 step at a time, and this time the steps were a little out of order. So I cut the carrots first, and now I started boiling some water. So we'll just wait for that to boil, and we'll just hang out, party. I don't know what that was. Please watch yourself as you open this. Do not get steam burns. Don't forget to set your 7-minute timer when you steam these vegetables, because I almost did. Well, the potatoes have finished. It screamed at us, so it's ready. So we're just gonna let the steam out, and then we're gonna strain it. I was going the wrong way.
Overcooked chicken?
Yeehaw. Hey, sometimes you just gotta leave it in there for too long. All you gotta do is give it a stir, and then your husband will never know. Now I got the steam floating towards me. Really opens up those pores. It smells like carrots. Time to put on the gauntlets of heat resistance. I just grab this, and I'll grab this part of it and use this as my strainer because I don't like getting that many dishes dirty. Before we start mashing, you're gonna want to throw your butter and your milk, and you could also add sour cream if you want. I'm good with just butter and milk, but you add that stuff before you mash it, and then you let it warm up, and then you mash it. I'm just using the rest of the stick that we used earlier for the sauce. You can use a whole stick if you want, but this is not that many potatoes. And then I also used 1/3 cup of milk. And I just pop the lid back on there, let it get warm, and then we'll finish up in a minute. This just finished, so we're gonna take it off and strain it as well. My husband wants me to tell you about my fancy butter dish. This came with our cheese grater. It's supposed to hold the cheese, but now it holds my butter. So we're just gonna take some butter and pop it in the bottom. Oh my gosh! Shoot. Time to salt and pepper these potatoes. This is so good. This is one of our family favorites. The chicken is just so soft you can cut it without a knife. The potatoes go perfectly with the gravy. Overall, just a favorite. We have used the chicken in this recipe in place of our Thanksgiving turkey. So if you liked this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and stay tuned if you want to see more of my recipes, because I usually use the leftover mashed potatoes for our KFC famous bowls. Thanks for watching.